Elijah was a prophet. He told people about God. Elijah didn't have a home to live in, but he wasn't worried because he knew that God cared about where he lived. Elijah went to a town called Shunem to tell the people about God. The woman who lived in Shunem knew Elijah loved and obeyed God. She asked Elijah to come to her house for a meal. Elisha gladly went with the woman to her home. He was hungry. Elisha ate and talked with the woman and her husband. Soon they became good friends. After that, every time Elijah went to Shunem, he went to his friend's house, and every time his friends made a nice meal for him. And every time Elijah thanked God and the woman and her husband for giving him what he needed. One day, the woman suggested to her husband, "Elisha comes here often to tell us about God, but when he comes, he doesn't have a place to live here. Let's make a room for him. When Elisha comes to Shunem, he will have his own home." The woman and her husband built an extra room into their house. Now Elisha would have a place to live when he came to Shunem. The woman and her husband added furniture for Elisha to use. They carried a bed into the room. They brought in a table and a lamp. They put in a stool for sitting. They probably put in a water jug and bowl that Elijah could use to wash himself. Now the room was finished. This would be a comfortable place for Elijah to live. The woman and her husband could hardly wait to show Elijah. The next time Elijah went to Shunem, he went to see his friends as he always did. Imagine his surprise when they showed him the room they had made for him. He was so thankful that God had used the woman to provide a place for him to live. Elijah asked the woman what he could do to thank her for her kindness. Elijah wanted to help her because she had helped him. But the woman only said, "I live with my own people. I have everything I need." This was her way of saying that she knew that God cared about where she lived. She had a home and all the good things she needed. She didn't want anything else from Elijah. Elisha knew that God cared about where he lived because of the way God had the woman make a room just for him. God cares about where we live too. Now is your turn. Ask your parents for help printing out the 3 pages for this week's lesson. Then cut out and decorate Elisha's room any way you would like. You can decorate your My Room page to look exactly like your room does, or whatever you can imagine. But most importantly, remember that just like God cared for and provided for Elijah, God cares for and provides for you too.